Well, this just in. According to ESPN reporter Tim McMahon, the Houston Rockets and John Wall have agreed to work together to find a trade destination for the veteran point guard. The team is committed to the 20-year-old Kevin Porter and, of course, 18-year-old draft pick Jalen Green as their starting backcourt, meaning Wall, a five-time All-Star who was traded to Houston in the Russell Westbrook deal last year, doesn't have a starting spot. Wall is due $91.7 million over the next 2 seasons, and he can still play, but it wasn't all that long ago where the question is he an elite point guard? Is he going to make the jump to being an elite point guard? Will he ever really learn to shoot from the outside? And no, he's not elite, but he can still play. Time was, even at that price tag, I don't want to say by taking John Wall on, you're a sucker, but teams like the New York Knicks could be relied upon to trade for a guy like that. Is that still the case? Might be more difficult to move that contract than it was even a couple of years ago. Time for zero to the max. We'll go through concern levels of different teams around the NFL. Is the concern gauge at 0, 50, or to the max? And I'll kick things off. The Titans' defense was exposed Sunday by Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray. And I'm all the way to the max concerned, guys. Because if you're a team, look, how often is the question asked about Ryan Tannehill? Can he be a Super Bowl quarterback? But really, if you're primarily running the ball, you have to play complementary defense if you even want to have the chance to. They don't. They do the opposite. They play insulting defense. They're not complimenting anyone. So I'm all the way to the max concerned. Meantime, the Bills' run game and their offense with Josh Allen at the helm was limited to just 16 points by the Steelers. Jeff, are you 0, 50, or to the max concerned?
I'm 50%. And here's my issue. You had a 10-point lead, and you still ran the ball you threw the ball 51 times. By the way, you're averaging 4.7 yards a carry. Like, you ran it 25 times. You had 117 yards. Like, it would tell you need to be running the ball more to protect your lead. Instead, they leaned on Josh Allen. I don't like that.
Lamar Jackson and the Ravens upset last night by the Raiders. Meek, you're concerned about Baltimore, 0, 50, or to the max?
To the max. I mean, it's more about the expectations. This team is expecting to win a Super Bowl, and they're not going to be able to do it because they cannot play man coverage with the Peters injury. They can't play man coverage and blitz, and that is what their defense is predicated on. We saw them exposed late in that game in man coverage. And also, Lamar Jackson. They were trying to develop this offense to a place where it's not completely dependent on Lamar Jackson.
Jeff?
It ain't work.
Yeah, to Nick's point, like, Lamar Jackson has so much pressure on him, and then you take out all of his running backs. You've never been able to really develop this passing game because his COVID, other injuries, Bateman's surgery, right? Hollywood, like, everybody had injuries throughout the preseason. That's an issue, right? So there's no rhythm, there's no timing. And then he wouldn't give what the defense was. He wouldn't take what the defense was giving him, right? You can't go broke taking a profit. We said that earlier today when Nick and I were talking. The bottom line is you got to take those short passes instead of always pulling it down, because the sustainability of him lasting a season. And by the way, it brutalizes your body to run the football. I mean, it is a punishing position. Now you got to go out there and throw accurately after you're getting hit around like that. Like to me, it's too much on him. They're going to have to really depend on Latavius Murray and the guys they're bringing in to get back on track.
The all-pro running back squad from 6 years ago,
yeah.
apparently.
Yes.
Dan, what do you think?
I was talking to an executive with a different team last week about, what are you expecting for your season? And I got this speech about, what it's all about is like how good is your third string running back, your second string right, because by October, November, you're going to be relying on those kinds of people. The Ravens are already there, and it's week 1.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. They don't really have their team, and the coaching staff is obviously excellent and experienced at working its way through difficult things, and you don't want to bet against them. But at some point, the losses become too much, and I think they can run the ball with anybody they bring in just about. Marcus Peters, not a replaceable guy.
Meantime, the Ravens and the Browns are looking up at the Steelers and the Bengals in the AFC North after week 1. Nick, who's your favorite in that division?
I picked the Ravens before the season started. And I'm gonna
Already?
I'm gonna stick with them. I'm gonna stick with them. I think that the things that you brought up, the confidence in the organizational stability and their ability to figure these things out, I'm going to rely on that. I'm going to the game next week where they play the Chiefs. I might have to change my opinion after that game.
Yes, you will.
But I'm staying strong until
Probably didn't
then.
have him winning that one anyway.
Jeff, what
But
you
it
got?
depends on what it looks like.
I'm going Cleveland Browns. Listen, and I believe in John Harbaugh. He's a fantastic coach. I also believe players play, and the roster from the Browns is really good. And I think Baker Mayfield obviously made one mistake. The punter drops the ball. Otherwise, they beat the Chiefs, who everybody talks about as the best team with Patrick Mahomes. I got to stick with the Browns. That was my early season pick anyway.
Yeah, I had the Browns too. I'll stick with them for all those same reasons, even though the Bengals, looked so good.
There he goes.
Make some noise.
Don't be scared.
By the way,
Say
I'll
it.
take the Browns too.
By
They
the
got the
way-
best offensive line in the game. They
Yes.
dominate the line of scrimmage. I like that if you have a competent quarterback, and they do. What's so interesting to me about the whole division is they have interesting quarterbacks all around. Now you got Joe Burrow. You see what he can do in Cincinnati. Every team has a quarterback you're interested in.
Stan's favorite team.
One of the highlights in last night's Monday Nighter was listening to Peyton and Eli Manning commentating, is it, on the Ravens-Raiders game. Let's listen to the best of the Manning brothers.
Blue 20, easy, can. I cannot, this helmet doesn't fit.
Shocking that a helmet doesn't fit you.
Throw it away. Oh, yeah. Why am I telling him to throw it away?
I taught him that at the Manning Passing Academy.
Nobody had more swagger than number 52.
Peyton calls Omaha, but it's not really going nowhere.
Every time I call a play, Ray is calling the play. Eli, what'd you do? Did you set the alarm? We got any film study tonight, or you just been watching Eli and I all night trying to learn something?
I've been watching all of you guys all night long.
They're all going to be like this, see? Yeah, this is fun, bro.
Jeff, you must have been in hog heaven watching your guy like that. I mean, it was enjoyable for me. I can't even imagine for you.
I loved it. Listen, the helmet early, when he put that helmet on, that thing stopped like above his ears. I mean, that thing was a thing of beauty. And then I'll be honest with you, Russ, like the Russell Wilson segment, I thought that was the best one. Yeah. And when he said, "Are you staying up to listen to us so you can learn something?" to Russell. Meanwhile, Russell's calling every play before it happens. I mean, I thought that was electric. I really enjoyed it, had a lot of fun, and I did. I mean, it's them. And that's the greatest part, is that's who they really are no matter what. If you're out hanging out, that's what you get. So a lot of fun for me to watch them.
Real, legitimate chemistry that is not manufactured or
That's
fake
right.
in any way. And it was fun. And insight, too. I mean, Marlon Humphrey goes out for a play because he's hurt. And here's Peyton talking about, well, this is when the offensive coordinator be in my ear saying, hey, 44 is out. They're already
right.
down Peters. The guy who's coming in is an undrafted, whatever, fourth stringer.
Yeah.
Let's check that out.
Go there.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I mean, they may have chemistry, but Neek, what do they know about football? These two guys.
Right?
Nothing. I didn't learn a thing from those guys. You're trying to tell me that I could pick up somebody off the street to say, hey, this guy got hurt. Let's go at that spot. Man, if you can't get a helmet on your head, I don't want to hear it. They were fun. They were fun, smart guys to have on there.
By the way, that's the first one they did.
Oh,
Could
yeah.
you imagine?
Yeah.
Well, a year from now. All right, thanks, guys. Stay close. We still got more to do. Time for Max Velocity, getting you up to speed on stories from Major League Baseball that you need to know. The surprising Giants are the first team to clinch a playoff spot this season.